President Biden brushing off threats from the Senate's top Republican to oppose his infrastructure plan. Listen.
If the Republicans argue that we don't need infrastructure, it need not, they've been talking about the need for it for years now. If the Republicans decide that we need it, but they're not going to pay for it, I think the Republicans, voters, are going to have a lot to say about whether we get a lot of this done.
Joining us now to discuss is John Stubbins, host of Indivisible with John Stubbins and Vice President of Prelude Pictures. Good to see you, John. Thanks so much for coming on. A lot to weigh in here, President Biden making these comments. What do you make of that? Because inside of that speech that he gave that we didn't play is the fact that he said he would want to work with Republicans. But do you take him for his word on that? Do you see him working with Republicans on this so far?
No, I don't, Sean, and thanks for having me. Look, we've seen this show before, right? Barack Obama came out and talked about shovel-ready jobs. How did that go, America? We had Solyndra and many other programs, shovel-ready jobs that, basically threw the American taxpayer money down the drain, if not stolen from Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a liar. He's a liar. And we've seen this show before, like I said. They stole this money through the green energy incentives programs when Obama was in the Oval Office, and they sold it to the American people as shovel-ready jobs through all these different programs. And we're going through the same rerun again. And look, Mitch McConnell may not be a prize, and he has his own issues in the swamp, but make no mistake about it, Joe Biden is feeding the American people a bunch of malarkey. The American people, of course, Democrats, Republicans, independents alike, we all want new infrastructure, okay? But we're not going to get new infrastructure because the money won't go to new infrastructure. You know it, and I know it.
Well, one of the things about that infrastructure bill is that it's $2.2 trillion. It's a lot of money. Now, recently, one Republican said he'd come out and he would support a bill that was for $615 billion for an infrastructure bill, roughly a quarter of what's already put out there. So that's where you are with Biden's bill and with Republicans. They would only support the part that actually goes towards fixing roads and bridges, what we know traditionally as infrastructure. Not even close, but is there a pathway there that maybe they would meet in the middle, or does Biden and the Democrats, they just push this through with reconciliation?
Yeah, look, they've got to cut out the pork. They've got to actually use the American taxpayer funds that they're taking and put it towards infrastructure. I mean, where's our common sense here? This is part of the problem with the swamp, okay? Do what you say you're going to do. Don't feed us a line of nonsense and lies. And that's what's coming out of the Obama and Biden Oval Office. It's nonsense.
Well,
okay.
Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg is pushing the president's massive infrastructure bill package over the weekend. And you need bipartisan support, at least you think you do. But he said he believes Republican support is possible. Here's that.
We can look at any number of ideas. We know that this is entering a legislative process where we're going to be hearing from both sides of the aisle, and I think you'll find the president's got a very open mind. But time is of the essence. So we'll look at these ideas on how to pay for it. We'll look at ideas on where the investments ought to be, too. But the president is hoping for major progress from Congress before Memorial Day.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell already saying he plans to fight, quote, every step of the way. Why do you think, though, Buttigieg thinks McConnell or other Republicans would even side with Democrats? And also, what Buttigieg pointed out is finding the money to fund this $2 trillion package.
Yeah, good luck, Pete. I don't trust anything that comes out of Pete Buttigieg's mouth. He was the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, right? Didn't go so well there. I don't trust Pete Buttigieg, number one. Number two, if you resist this bill, okay, and the pork that's in it and the money that they're going to steal from you, the American taxpayer, then they're going to call you a racist and they're going to invoke Jim Crow because they invoke Jim Crow with every single thing that they do or say. And the thing that bothers me about this whole Jim Crow thing, where it comes to every subject, is that Jim Crow came from you, Joe Biden, you, Barack Obama, you, Hillary Clinton. This came from your party. You're the one that has a mentor by the name of Robert Byrd, you and Hillary, Joe, that is the before he died, he was the Grand Wizard of the KKK. So stop lecturing us about Jim Crow, because you're the party of Jim Crow.
In reference to the Georgia election reform that we've seen there, that's where you've heard those comments before. I appreciate that. Thanks for coming on. John Stubbins joining us live. John, thanks for coming on this Monday. We appreciate it. Take care.